Welcome back, everybody, to another Granbury TV interview. I'm Shanna Smith with the City of Granbury, and joining me this morning is our City Manager, Wayne McKethan. Wayne, thanks so much for taking time today to tell us about so many things going on in the City of Granbury. Well, first off, let's go ahead and talk about the Opera House and the renovation project. Lots of people are interested in what's happening and the timeline of the renovation project, so tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, this last Monday, the construction company showed up, and they showed up with a lot. There is now a fence behind the Opera House parking. They have trailer houses brought in for their offices. They're mobilizing, and we're getting ready to have a grand opening of the construction process on Thursday at 10 a.m. behind the Opera House. And construction is underway, and it will continue until it's completed. So. The first things that they're going to do, they're going to strengthen the support on the ceilings. They're going to look at the masonry around the top to get it formed properly. Then they will demolish the back wall. It was important that they get the roof strengthened because the tie down on the roof, turns out, it's an old building, it wasn't very strong. And if we knocked down that back wall, it would have created a draft that could have taken the roof for a ride, which would have been pretty serious to end up over in the court, or near the courthouse.
Right.
So, those are the kind of things that structurally you have to deal with an older building. So we're not surprised. It's something we have to do, but it's underway.
Definitely.
And just talking to them, we're still working on the final schedule, but certainly by the end of the year, and we're thinking even sooner than that.
Absolutely. Well, everybody's certainly looking forward to that, and there's no doubt that this will be a very beautiful opera house once it's all said and done and complete. So
it'll be a draw.
That's right.
There's no doubt about it.
Definitely an attraction, and it has been for many years. Well, let's talk a little bit about, you mentioned the fence right behind the opera house that's gone up. We've had a couple of calls and just inquiries about that fence. What exactly is that? Is that part of mobilizing the job site? Is that it containing, certain things for the job to be done? Tell us a little bit more for the citizens.
Well, any construction process, first of all, a lot of that space has been taken up by the actual construction of the back building.
Right.
We're going to add on another 5,000 to 7,000 square feet back in there that is going to be part of the Opera House itself. But there will be a tremendous amount of construction equipment, supplies that's going to be stored inside that fence. Someone was saying, well, gee, we'd still like to park there. And I don't think you want to park there.
Not right now, no.
Not if you like your car, okay? Because these big trucks are huge. They'll be coming down through there. So it's just best, it's safer for the citizens. We have left the restrooms available such that you can still use the public restrooms, and we went around that to make sure that that was not impaired.
Great.
Anyway,
well,
so
that's definitely, important to know, and so you want to make sure that you stay out of that area and avoid parking there.
You want to be
so that construction can continue. Well, great. Well, everybody is looking forward to the big groundbreaking this Thursday at 10, and moving forward and seeing the great things to come at the Opera House. So also something that's very busy. It's a very busy month for the City of Granbury. So also coming up April 13th, Saturday, is the annual bulk trash pickup day. And tell us a little bit about what that includes. Why does the city put this on every year?
Well, first of all, it's something that everybody needs. Everybody always has this big thing that they need to get rid of that they don't have a mechanism to haul or whatever.
Right.
And so we supply this to our citizens.
It's a great
and
service.
It's a very popular service.
Definitely.
We have to limit it to a certain degree because we have only certain things we can do as well. But bulk trash includes items such as refrigerators, air conditioning units, furniture, appliances, etc. If you're going to haul off big limbs, they have to be cut and bundled in 4-foot lengths. Tires, paint, oils, and liquids are not picked up, so don't put those out. And you're limited to 6 items.
Okay, and must be inside the city limits, of course.
You gotta live in the city.
To receive that service. And items on Saturday must be placed out there no later than 7 a.m. April 13th, and the routes will be picked up from 7 a.m. till 1 p.m. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Great. So everybody's looking forward to that. Great service from the City of Granbury, Bulk Trash Day on April 13th. Another item coming up in April is the big grand opening for Granbury's new dog park, the Granbury Bark Park. Tell us a little bit more on how that project is progressing, and what can we expect on the big grand opening day?
Well, we can expect a lot of people with their dogs.
Definitely.
We're also going to honor the people that submitted the winning entry for the name of the park.
Yes.
That's exciting. And it's just something that has been a very popular thing in a lot of cities, is that people have animals and they're cooped up in the house, and they have nowhere to get out and run, and this is going to supply that for them. And so a lot of our citizens have requested it. It's been one of the most requested parks we've had.
Right.
Everybody has a pet of some sort. So it's divided into large dog and small dog parks, and there's 2 each, so that given the traffic that gets on there, you have to be able to move back and forth, let the grass grow back.
Sure.
And so everybody's going to like it. It's going to be really nice. It's something that I think Granbury needs. So.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, if you've gone by the dog park, that's located at 600 West Moore Street, right by the baseball complex and all the fields, and it's accessible by the hike and bike trail, which is so great. It really ties, the whole park system and just such a great quality of life aspect altogether. So, and the fences are up, and the tunnels are in there for the dogs to go and play, and water fixtures. It's going to be a wonderful park.
And the fire plugs are there. And so
That's right. That's right. Well, everybody's looking forward to that. So the grand opening is Saturday, April 20th at 10 a.m. And there'll be some great grand opening festivities. Some of the local organizations will be out there. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Wonderful. Well, we're looking forward to that. And another park that's underway is the new skate park. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, one of the neat things about Granbury is that we spend a lot of money on our citizens, so they have a quality of life that's better than other places.
Definitely.
And it definitely is. When people come here, they go, look at all the green space.
Yes, beautiful.
We have not made the mistake that many of the cities have made, where they didn't plan ahead and create green space for their citizens. And now you go to many cities and it's just a bunch of concrete. That's not happening in Granbury. Granbury is one of the most beautiful cities around, because of this council and prior councils being committed. You look at the city hall behind you, you go, wow, we get so many compliments on that and what's been created.
Absolutely.
That really raises the level of the quality of life here. And that's one of the reasons I love Granbury. That's one of the reasons I was attracted and why many people are attracted.
Absolutely.
This is another thing, but this is for our kids, and not just for kids. I've been amazed at how many adults are coming in and says, I love to do skating, okay? And so it's going to be something that everybody can use. It's a BMX. It's going to be designed for BMX and skateboards and skating. So we're real excited about it. The first phase, the council has now approved going forward with the design. The first phase is to have public meetings to make sure we understand what people want. So if you have an interest of something you'd like to see in the skate park, here's your chance. You're going to have public input. And we haven't scheduled a meeting yet.
But those will certainly be posted soon.
Those will be posted soon. And then you'll have your opportunity to say what you like in the skate park.
And that's wonderful. I mean, what greater way for parents and kids to get involved? And kids are so imaginative. They can come up with so many things. And so that'll be great to get community input that way. So everybody's looking forward to that. Well, so those town hall meetings and those public meetings will be coming up, in the next few months. So as design gets underway, what about the grand opening of the park? Is that something scheduled for later this year?
Yeah, and it'll depend on what the design ends up. We're going to have to do this in phases.
Sure.
$250,000 sound like a lot of money, but when you're building a skate park, they have parks that will far exceed that.
Right.
We're not trying to be the biggest or the best park. We're just trying to meet initially some of the needs of our citizens.
Sure.
And so once we've got this design arrived at and approved, then the construction will be better able to pinpoint an exact time. We perceive sometime during the summer. It may be the later part of the summer. But we're sometime at the end of the summer. Probably.
Great, great. Everybody is certainly looking forward to that, and I know in future reports we'll definitely be talking about that more. Another thing that our citizens have probably noticed going up around town throughout the last few months is our new wayfinding signage program. In our last couple of reports, you talked a lot about that, but in case our viewers missed it, tell us a little bit about what's the purpose behind all of these signs around town.
Well, we've always had a lot of requests for signage to basically show where things are at, in the city. And you could do it one of two ways. You could basically let the taxpayer pay for all the signage, or we basically had a company approach us that said, we'll do some advertising. Well, we don't call it, but we say also direction for entities, private entities. And so they're able to, and they do all the construction, they do all the maintenance, and they actually return some of the percentage of the earnings to the city and give us free spots on there to show how to get to City Hall, how to get to museums, how to get to different locations.
Right, right.
So it's a way to save the taxpayer money, yet still provide a service, and the people within the community actually like the idea of being able to have a way to direct people to their the business as well.
Absolutely.
And it really, that's nice in terms of those things, but also what we're trying to do is to get rid of the tacky little signs that show up on the roadway for different types of things that really clutters the town. We're not the first city to do this. In fact, we're one of the last cities to do this. And in fact, this has been implemented all through the Metroplex. If you'll go through, you'll see the same company who's come up with this concept, and you'll see those same signs. They say ours is much nicer than a lot of the other ones, and we agree with that because we helped design them.
Definitely. Well, what I love about the signs is you're right, it reduces a lot of clutter. It brings, of course, the brand and what we're trying to reflect from the city forward in all of these signs. And we actually have three different kinds of designs. Is that right?
Yes.
We've got the one that our citizens will see on the main thoroughfares of town, 377, 144, all around town that are big, and what Wayne is discussing is with the businesses on there as well as the city placards. And then as you move into town, we have the ones that look more historic and kind of brand the community that way, and that are a little bit closer towards the entities Wayne was mentioning, City Hall, the park system, so it comes in a little bit closer to town. And then we have very large signs that just went up very recently. You want to tell us a little bit more about that?
And that's actually the signs on the square.
The
large out on the highway.
Yes,
oh,
the very
yeah,
large signs.
Out on the 377.
Yes.
Yes, those are very big signs.
Yes.
And we were able to get those put in and work with them as well to get those put in. They really direct it to different locations in the city.
Definitely.
And it's really going to help you as you're exiting off the highway. Now, the one that I was beginning to mention was we're still going to have a couple of signs on the square itself that will show "You are here" type signs.
Pedestrian kiosks.
Pedestrian kiosks that allow you to say "You are here," and here's some locations within the square that you might want to visit.
Definitely, and those will mention, yes, within the square and attractions, and over towards the conference center and City Beach. It'll be, that's actually the final phase of the project, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And those will be coming soon. So if you've been wondering what all of these signs are all around town, well, just a little bit more information on what those are and what you can expect.
And this
so
has been
that's great.
requested by our visitors as well.
Definitely, it's a great service for locals
So,
and visitors alike.
you come to town, you'd like to know where everything's at.
Absolutely. Helps us all. And one final thing that's, of course, been on everybody's minds is Lake Granbury. Tell us a little bit more about what's been discussed amongst the council and the last agendas, and kind of what's moving forward on our great asset, the lake.
Well, moving forward, we're having good response from people. We're working on an economic impact study. The council approved going to Washington to talk to our congressmen, our senators, the NRC if need be. And we perceive that was something we want to do. So we're basically moving forward. The Economic Study Impact has a committee, and they're raising money for that. It's important to know exactly how a lake and how the lake impacts the city and the county. This is a joint effort from the county and the city, though. And so we're pleased with how that's progressing. So things are going well. this is a long haul. This is not, the whole BRA process really won't become available for public comment until August. So we're just doing the preparatory work to get everything lined up.
Sure.
This is not something that goes away next week.
Right.
We're committed to it. We're going to make sure we can't not be, because the lake is so important to Hood County and the city of Granbury that once again we're saying it's important to everyone. And those people who think it's not just doesn't understand mathematics, because what you do if you lose valuation from a large component of your tax base, then there's neither one of two things have to happen. Either services have to go away or your taxes have to go up, and that'll be everybody's taxes. Not, in fact, the people who live on the lake, if their valuations go down, their taxes will go down. Okay, it'll be the lakefront people who actually win in terms of taxes going down, even after the solution's over. It's the people who don't live on the lake are the ones whose taxes go up.
Right.
And that's not an opinion, that's just a mathematical function. Okay, and so it should be interesting to see that everybody, and people are finally getting the message. They're realizing that that's going to happen if they'll just look at the valuations and see how that works.
Certainly.
And understand the process. So it's going to be interesting. So we'll just continue because it is important, and we're seeing good progress. So we're happy with what's happening.
Well, great. Well, you've given us a great wealth of knowledge. So many things going on within the city of Granbury. Is there anything else that you'd like to add as we wrap up today?
No, I think everything's going well.
Great, great. Well, Wayne, again, thank you so much for your time and telling us all about the wonderful things happening in the city.
Thank you.